Welcome back, and in this video we're going to be covering switch statements in Java. Now these are generally preferred over if statements because they tend to be a lot more cleaner to read when you're writing your code and also a lot more efficient. So let's have a look at how these work. Now as you can see, I've simply created my main method and I've got a method call to a function called doSomething with day input as a parameter. And then here's the function here. And what it does is it'll take in a day of the week, and based on the day it'll print out an output. So for example, for Monday it'll print out today is Monday. So let's have a look at running that. And as we can see, that's what happens when we run it. However, this isn't great to read and it's not the most efficient. So let's have a look at changing it to our switch statement. And so the way we do that isn't actually too hard. We just put our keyword switch in, and then we put the variable that we're going to be evaluating in between these brackets. And then we use our curly braces again to highlight the block of code to do with our switch statement. And so the way it works is, instead of having our if statement for each individual term, we'll actually create what's called a jump table, which will have cases for each of the different cases that we expect. And the way that works is we simply just write case, and then we write, well, what if it's Monday? And then we do a colon and we write the code. So this would be system.out.println it's Monday. And then what we would actually have to do after this is we'd have to have a break. And the reason for that is because if we don't have that, then it would actually just iterate over to the next case. And so then we can simply put in our next case by just writing case again, and then we do Tuesday. And so here we can write the code that we want. So I'm going to do system.out.println and say we're past Monday. And in the instance of here, you can actually choose to write whatever you want. So you could even have a function call if you want here. And then as you can see, I've chose to end it off with a break. And so you could actually go through and do this for each of the days. So what we'll do is I'll just do one more, and then I'm going to do it without having a break statement. So, oh, whoops. I'm going to say system.out.println it's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the week. And then I'm going to leave a break and add in another case. So here I'm going to write a case for if it was Thursday. And then what this code would actually do is, so if it was Wednesday, then it would execute all the code here, and then it would simply move on to Thursday, regardless if the case was Thursday or not. And that's because we don't have the break statement here. However, if I say case Thursday, then I can put in my code here. So system.out.println we're past the middle of the week. And then depending on whether or not I put a break statement here, it'll either break or continue to execute code. So I'm going to go ahead and put a break in. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to skip the rest of the days. But what if we have, for example, a day that isn't Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? Well, we could carry on doing cases for all of them. However, we could also just put in a default statement. And so this is quite similar to the else statement that we have in an if else statement. And so the way that would work is I would simply write default, and then I could go ahead and write in my code. So I'm going to say system.out.println it's the end of the week. Now I know Friday isn't quite the end of the week, but we'll just count it anyway. And so what would happen is, if what we entered, our input, didn't match any of these cases, then it would automatically go to the default one. So we can go ahead and try that out. So right now my string's put at Monday, and so if I execute that, we get it's Monday printed out. And the same thing would happen for Tuesday. We would get we're past Monday. However, let's see what would happen if we run it for Wednesday. And as you can see, it goes to Wednesday, prints out this code here, and then it goes straight to Thursday, even though the day isn't Thursday. So this day here isn't Thursday, and it prints that code out as well. However, if I just write Thursday and we run that, then we only get we're past the middle of the week, i.e. Thursday's code's executed, because it jumps straight to this in the jump table. And then it doesn't match anything else, and we have the break, and so it ends. But what happens if I put anything random in, so Sunday and some random code? Well then here, what will happen is it'll come in and not reach any of the code statements here, and so it'll just go to the default. And so what we could say, or what we should change this to, is it's the end of the week, or you haven't entered in a proper day. And that would just make a lot more sense. But otherwise, that's an overview of switch statements in Java. So I hope you found my tutorial useful, and if you did, please feel free to check out my channel where I've got a whole load more Java videos. Other than that, as per usual, I'll post all the code that I've used in this video in my Git repository, which will be posted in the link in the description below. So please check that out, and I hope you've enjoyed the content, and please do like, share and subscribe.